What's good, YouTube? Dmgaming here, guys, and yes, back for another Dragon Ball Z Kakarot video. In today's video, I'll be giving you the top 5 things you need to know about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot so that you can make the decision if you want to get this game or not, guys. But before we get into today's video, the new giveaway for December is already live. The link is in the description box down below. And for this past month's winner, let's go ahead and check out who it is. Where I did the drawing. Devier Rashawn Powell out of Philadelphia, and I've blanked out his email address because I don't want people spamming his email and things like that. But my guy, you are the winner of the first month's giveaway, so you'll be winning a digital copy of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Ultimate Edition, and you'll be getting that code once the game comes out. Guys, this is sponsored by me. It's not put on by anybody. The money that I get from doing these videos, I'm putting it back into the channel and doing this giveaway. So the YouTube check don't come till towards the end of the month or whatever. But when that check comes, I'm gonna purchase those codes. Since it'll come towards the end of December, go ahead and get both of them. I'll go ahead and get this one. So whenever I get that, I'm gonna shoot that code over to your email address. Hopefully you check your email address. But I'm going to send you an email today as well, just to confirm and let you know, in case you're not seeing this video, that you won and that we could be in touch. That way you can stay in touch with me. So whenever I get your code for the game, I can get that to you also, so I can find out what console that you're playing on. So congratulations, Mr. Powell, winner of the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot giveaway. Now on with the video, guys. Top 5 things that you need to know before or in my opinion, making a wise decision on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, because I know that everybody's not going to like this game, and there's people every day who come onto the channel who don't know anything about the game, and rightfully so, because not a lot of people are talking about it as you would expect with a new Dragon Ball Z game. And a lot of the reason why is because a bunch of people are wanting Xenoverse 3. And they look at Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and they say, wow, I don't like this because I want it to be like Xenoverse. I want it to have my custom created character. Like, they love the concept of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but they wanted to be able to do that with a created character and a completely different story. But guess what, guys? Not in this rendition. We want something too, and we deserve it. There's so many other games. I say this a lot of times. There's so many other games out there like Xenoverse, like Fighters, like Super Dragon Ball Heroes, World Mission. Those games have different storylines. Like, for Pete's sakes, can we have one? And we got one, and that's not going to stop. So, number 1, there are no movie characters. That has been confirmed in the interview. I've done a video about it. I've linked that sound clip in the interview. I mean, in that video as well. You have to go back through the 237 videos that's in the playlist and find it, because I couldn't tell you which one right now. But guys, it is confirmed that there are no movie characters in the game. Now, does this mean that in the future that they can't add movie characters via DLC? That's not true. They could very well do that, but for the base game, there are no movie characters. Now, they did this because they want the base game to follow and mirror the anime and the manga, and movie characters just did not exist in that. Now, I will say this. Well, they did exist, but not in that spectrum. But I will say this, guys. There are homages to movies in the game, yes. While the characters may not be in the game, you do have certain move sets from the movies that will be in the game, i.e. we know for a fact that it's confirmed that Dragon Fist will be in the game, and that is a movie attack. So there are little homages, and they did say that there would be things like that in the game that kind of point to those things. But as far as movie characters and movie villains, they aren't in the game. And I know people are going to speculate and say, well, if they're going to do Super, then that means they can't do Super because Frieza and Beerus are movie characters. That's not true. They were played out in the anime, so, and in the manga. So they're kind of like that hybrid, you know, because even with Broly was in the movies. Broly hadn't been in the animes, either one of them. So, you know, but Beerus and Frieza have, and so it is possible still with them to even make it into the game via DLC. But I digress. Number 2, no multiplayer. There is no multiplayer in this game, and I'm not crying. I'm happy that there's no multiplayer in the game. Why? Because this game will not have balancing. We won't have to worry about balancing issues, and they're able to fully put everything into this game, all their resources. You don't have to worry about any netcodes. You don't have to worry about any connection issues, anything like that with this game, because it is a single player game. There isn't any couch co-op in the game. People even wanted that. Why? I don't know. That's just an extra resource that not a lot of people are going to use. So why would you want them taking time on something like that? I don't know. But there is no multiplayer in the game, guys. As of right now, there are no plans to implement multiplayer or even co-op in the game. And if you ask me personally, I don't see how it would work anyway. I know people look at the different characters you can use and say, oh yeah, multiplayer. But you would have to literally find somebody who wants to play as somebody that you may already be controlling. What if me and you both want to play as Goku? We both can't play as Goku. You see what I'm saying? So I get that, and like I said, I'm not mad that the game isn't multiplayer. Every Dragon Ball game out right now has multiplayer elements, and they're constantly doing patches and things like that to these games for balancing reasons and stuff like that, and it just takes away from what the core game is. I mean, if you look at some of these games, look at Xenoverse when it first came out compared to now. Look at Fighters when it first came out compared to now. These games are forever changing, and they end up different than what the developers had in mind because of balancing issues in order to keep people happy. So there's no multiplayer. Get over it. It's not happening in this one. Maybe in the next one. Hopefully not, though. But guys, number 3 on the list is you are able to create your own difficulty. And I really, really like that. Now, people are asking me all the time, DM, is there difficulty in the game? Is there a difficulty setting? Oh my gosh, that buck fights look so easy. Is there difficulty setting? Hopefully we can adjust the difficulty. Guys, the way that the game is structured, you have different areas to level up your character. If you want to make the game more difficult, just don't make your character that powerful. It's literally that simple. Because in the game, you have training, or you have your regular fights that are going to upgrade your character. Okay, you have the meals that upgrade your stats for your character. You have training. Now, training, I'm going to put a star by that. You have training to upgrade your character. And you also have the skill tree and the community tab with the soul emblems to upgrade your character. Now, the reason I put a star in training is because in order to get the attacks in the game, you have to do training. Yes, you do have to do training to unlock new moves in the game. So, you know, that you are going to have to do some stuff. But as far as leveling up your character, you don't have to eat. You don't have to utilize the soul emblems and stuff like that. I mean, you can make your character weak as possible in this game and give yourself the biggest challenge possible. Now, I wonder, because they talk about, I did read an interview where they was talking about the leveling system and basically saying that if you wanted a tougher challenge, that you could choose not to level up your character. But we know that, I know what they mean by that now. Before I was like, well, if you get experience, your character's going to level up regardless. Yes. But if you don't have to do all the extra stuff in the game, like you don't have to eat meals, you don't have to level up stuff in the skill tree, you don't have to do training and unlock new attacks, you know, in the community tab, you don't have to do the soul emblem stuff. And in doing that, you are going to have a lot weaker character, and it's going to make the fight a lot more challenging. Now, if you want to level up your character more, you can eat as much as you want to and level yourself up. Like as far as those boosts and things like that are concerned, you can fight and get as much XP as you want and stuff like that. So for example, Goku's fighting Raditz right here. Raditz is level 6. Hey, if you want to, I don't know what level Goku starts the game at. I doubt that it's 4, it's probably 1. But if you wanted to take on Raditz at level 1, you can do that and make it a more difficult fight. You're still going to play through the story. You will still be able to go through training mode and unlock attacks and stuff like that. But basically, you don't have to do a bunch of the side stuff in the game that gives you XP to level up. I mean, it's just that. So in a sense, you're creating your own difficulty. And I think that that is a really important thing to note in the game, because people wonder about difficulty settings. Now, also, I will say this, that the number four on the list is original content. Yes, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is going to tell the same story of Dragon Ball Z, but it's going to tell it in a new light, in a new and unique way. The developers of this game literally went out of their way to find things in the anime and the manga that they haven't seen in video games, and they're putting it in the video games. I know people are going to say, well, there was pretty much everything in Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku. Yeah, but that was on the Game Boy Advance. How many years ago? There's nothing in modern history for that, and we want that, and we're going to get that, and it is awesome. But on top of that, there are many subquests in the game that explore the unexplored lore for Dragon Ball. For example, there is a special subquest mission for Gohan and Android 16 that explores the background, gives you some backdrop into how their relationship was the way that it was. So that when Cell killed 16, that's what pushed Gohan over the edge, which if you watch the series, you pretty much know, but they don't go into detail about it. It's just kind of one of those understood kinds of things. And it's also an homage. If you look at Gohan when he first trained, I want to say it was a Dr. Willow, it was another doctor, it was another android that Gohan was stuck in the cave with, and he risked his life to save Gohan. And I thought that was an homage whenever that same thing happened with 16, that was sort of an homage to that as well. But Gohan was always kind-hearted, stuff like that. And 16 grew to be, and they built the connection. We get to explore that in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Even for pre-ordering the game, there's a special subquest for a party with friends. It's a mission that's based off of Goku coming back from Yardrat before all the android stuff took place. So guys, there are original content, not to mention Banyu, who is a character created specifically for the game. Yes. And on top of that, if you look into the DLC content, there are 2 new original stories or episodes coming to the game with DLC. So they plan on continuing this original content. There's subquests from Nam and Ader and Launch, people that we didn't see in Dragon Ball Z. Guys, there is pretty much stuff for everybody here. There's the nostalgia stuff with the regular story, and then that's that unexplored lore in the subquests and stuff like that. So original content is huge. Number 5, and number 5 is a big one to me, and that is the skill tree. This is the skill tree, baby, and it is important because, guys, this shows the level of depth, and I'm just gonna make this bigger for everybody, so we can get a real good look at it if I can maximize it. But the skill tree is very, very big. Look at how extensive this skill tree is. Now, if we look at the skill tree over here, you're gonna have your attacks here. There's melee attacks, there's ki blast attacks. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this is. I don't know yet. We don't know what the blue stuff is. We can only speculate. I think these are more or less the passive skills right here. This is probably stamina and ki based. Who knows? I don't think they're attacks. They could very well be. But the ones that you see here with this green dot, those are training icons. And that means that these attacks can only be unlocked through training. And then you get to level them up. This is an extensive skill tree. Now, get this. This is Goku's skill tree. There's one for all the playable characters. And I would assume that, I don't think there's skill tree. There are possibly even skill trees for the support characters. I'm going to do that in another video. I'm going to cover that information in another video because that's something that we hadn't talked about in detail yet. But this is Goku's skill tree. Now, why it looks like that, doesn't have much shape to it, I don't know. It's not my concern. But just imagine having one for Goku, for Gohan, for Vegeta, for Trunks, for Vegeta, for Gotenks, for Piccolo. Guys, there are skill trees for all the characters. So there is a ton of stuff to do in the game. And it provides a uniqueness to these characters because their passive attacks are going to be different. Their main attacks are going to be different. And just because you unlock it doesn't mean that it's available. You can only equip up to 4 attacks. So while you'll have these unlocked, you won't be able to equip all of them. So you get to mix and match. My Goku is not going to be the same as your Goku. Your Goku isn't going to be the same as my Goku. Now, guys, that is number 5. And that is huge to me. But I want to give an honorable mention. The honorable mention for this game is that Akira Toriyama himself is working with CyberConnect 2 on this game. And I think that is so dope because what games have he worked with on? You see what I'm saying? And to have the guy that created the series have a hand in this game, and he's helping to make that original content as well, you know that it's going to be good, because who knows Dragon Ball better than the creator himself? You see what I'm saying? So those sub stories are going to fit in with the anime and the manga and things like that. Guys, this game, in my personal opinion, what I'm seeing on paper, what I'm seeing, not from playing it because I hadn't played it, but from what I'm seeing on paper, writing the things down that this game has that's interesting, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But that's my opinion. Take this information, look at the gameplays that's out there, formulate your own opinions. Check out our playlist. There's over 237 videos in there. We've been covering the game since it was first announced in January 16 of 2019 as Dragon Ball Game Project Z. We have been covering it since then. There's tons of information in that playlist. There's tons of information here. So take this information, guys, and make a sound decision for yourself. Is this a game that I want to play? Is this a game that I want to check out? And if you're still not sure, then you can always check out the live stream when the game launches. I'll be streaming it on the YouTube channel from the PlayStation 4. It's going to be awesome, guys. That's all I have for right now. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.